Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Insane Nobodies podcast. Today, I'm here with a wonderful kerfuffle of people. Let's see who we got.
That wasn't a real word.
Yes, it was. Shut up.
Anyway, hi, I'm Pete, and I'm gonna burn down your village, and I'm not even gonna look at the flames.
I'm Rob Lowe, sometimes internet celebrity, and I'm here to start the waifu wars!
You missed that.
Hi, I'm Dylan. In my talons, I shape clay.
Hi, I'm Trell, and all it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive into a lunatic.
And this is the boss, and I'm sick of waiting. I want Pikachu, and this time, don't screw it up. Let's start the podcast.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
When did we get Sasha Banks on our podcast?
Oh no!
Hey, it's boss time.
I had a fucking snort laugh on that.
We broke Terrell, we did it!
That's
What,
less than
30 seconds in?
That's
We're speed running this now.
I think we're gonna just have to change it to how many times can we do that? Because I remember we broke him 3 times, once before it even started, and twice during a podcast.
So what are we talking about this week, Freddy?
Today, we're talking about villains, our favorites, our most hated, and just all around the ones who, I guess, were right, maybe?
Damn.
So,
Luca
I mean,
Blight
some
did
of them
nothing
had
wrong.
good points. What was that?
I said Luca Blight did nothing wrong. Just kidding. He was an absolute monster.
It's a Monstar.
Monstars.
Luca Blight
no.
is a major villain of Suikoden 2,
Okay.
and
Oh, that's
he
why
is.
I don't know.
Everyone remembers him for a particular scene where him and his army. The game opens with his army killing a bunch of child soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wonderful.
And then later in the game, there's this town that you hang out in, and then at some point that town gets attacked by Luca Blight and his army, and you sneak in to rescue someone, and you watch as he's just cutting down civilians, like being like, all right, next one, and then just like a civilian walks up and he just cuts them down. And there's this woman, and he's just like, you know what? I'll spare you if you get on your hands and knees and act like a pig. So this woman in tears just starts crawling around on the ground saying oink oink, and then he says, die pig, and just cuts her head off.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Luca Blight's a goddamn monster. And there's like really no explanation for why he's that awful. It's just like, no, he's always been a sociopath.
That's
I-
kind of like Kefka. Sorta.
Oh yeah. Which I was going to bring up as
Kefka
being...
almost won.
I hate.
No, he did get away with it, actually.
Yeah,
he
I
got
I was
away
gonna say
with
he
it.
did win.
He did win.
Yeah, he did get away with it.
I do want to say I hate characters that exist that just want to watch the world burn. The only exception, in my opinion, is like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z, just because his personality is so fucking hilarious to me. But like, I hate a villain who's just evil because evil.
Oh no, I'm
Like-
into that. Give me that chaotic, chaotic villain.
Chaotic evil.
Like the best way for me to describe it is kind of like how in Batman, like they say some people just want to watch the world burn. I fucking hate those people. Like, don't get me wrong, I think that they can be used greatly for story elements and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just personally hate them. Like they
Yeah,
get me
yeah.
the
I can see what you
like they
mean.
just get me the maddest is what I guess I should say.
Nah, the ones I hate are like. This is gonna be a weird one because like it took me a long time to actually realize it. It only happened because I was watching Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans like season 2, and there's this one dude who's like extremely full of himself, thinks he's the best shit ever. Like his shit don't stink basically. And he hired this group of people to like fuck with like the main characters groups and all that shit, which wound up offing one of like the kindest chicks in that whole entire series, which was slowly leading up to a character like her and like this other character like having some solid development, and then she just gets gunned down while buying a teddy bear.
Whoa.
And then so it's just like ever since it's just like this motherfucker needs to die. So when he died at the end, like at the end of the fucking show, it was the best thing ever. It was the best thing ever.
Who is this again?
It's I have to look up the name, but like he was like one of the most
You
hated
can't just be
characters I've
dropping
ever
stuff
seen.
like this without giving me a reference, Terrell.
I said it's Iron-Blooded Orphans, bro. Like, dude,
I need
Gundam.
a name.
Give me a nom.
I'm getting it. Give me a
Also,
second.
I looked up. Luca Blight does have a reason for being evil. It's because him and his parents were attacked by ruffians, and his father fled in fear, and then he was forced to watch his mother get raped repeatedly.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Iya
that's why
Kujan.
He's still evil. I
No,
don't
literally,
see that as
his-
a fucking
his-
excuse.
The quote on here is, "It took hundreds to kill me, but I killed humans by the thousands. Look at me. I am sublime. I am the true face of evil." And the best part is, he doesn't even look that evil, aside from the expression on his face. He's wearing, like, white and gold armor and, like, this, like, royal blue cape. Like, he looks like he should be a knight. Instead, he's just
Like
a fucking
in my
bastard.
opinion, what happened to him just awoken what was already there. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah, it broke him.
yeah. Like he's
saying it was an
there's
awakening?
No excuse. Yeah. God,
Oh no.
Terrell, I will say, Terrell, we all watched the waifu episode without you because you couldn't make it because of technical difficulties. But Jesus Christ, we wanted to make an awakening counter for you.
Oh no! Wait, how many times? So, real quick sidebar for get people. This
least
is
like
a little
5.
important. How many times?
You said it like 5 or 6 times in the beginning, and then you all of a sudden just
Yeah, you were
stopped.
very you were very forward with it.
All right,
Yeah,
it was
and it
less
died off on
than
the
I
back end.
assumed. It was less than I originally
Oh,
assumed.
we
'cause
all
I thought you
assumed there was
guys-
going to be double
No,
digits
yeah.
at that
I thought, yeah, I
rate,
thought you
and then
guys
it
were about to
just
say
fell
like,
off.
oh, you said it like 10 times. I was like, wait, what?
after like the 5th one, we said, "Yo, let's make a counter," and then
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 you
it just
stopped.
stopped.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
just stopped.
it's like you knew
Anyway.
recording. You knew.
So anyway, back to the actual topic at hand. The name of the character is Iya Kujan. IOKKUJAN. And this motherfucker was like, yeah, I'm just gonna have all these other people do my shit for me, basically. But like, you would have to watch Iron-Blooded Orphans to really, because like, there's two sides to the story in a weird way. You
had to
kind
be
of have to
there,
watch
man.
the show to understand why this motherfucker like deserved to have died when he died and the way
Listen,
he died.
like
because he
you
didn't go
gave me
easily.
enough
into the
of an
night.
explanation that I agree with you.
Yeah, he did not go easily into the night. He literally got like he got crushed in the cockpit of a mech by giant fucking scissors. He did not go easily in the night.
I love like when a villain is like brutally defeated. Like cuz there in my opinion there's not enough shows that are just like
There's
Good-
there's
do
not
a
enough
good-
John Wicks in media.
yeah, exactly. There's not a well, I mean, in all honesty, like he did like in my opinion, like based on like what he did to him, he did really good. But like I'm talking about like people like who are like super evil, like super villains who like murder tons and tons of people in shows
we need
and
a
like
light counter
like
for
and then they just get killed in a second. Like they didn't have a chance to suffer or think about what they did. I love when a show is just like takes them out like and just beats them down to a pulp and makes them realize that what they did had this consequence. Like I love that. I don't
mean-
think there's enough of that.
Hellsing Ultimate kind of did that with a couple of its villains, particularly Maxwell and the Colonel. Wait, is it the Colonel? The Major.
The fat dude.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
got
the
like
Major.
half exploded. But it turns out he
Half
was a
exploded?
cyborg. Yeah, well, he was a cyborg though, so he was fine.
Oh, okay.
Um,
This is something I
Why
need to
was he-
watch. So
but yeah, Maxwell is basically this asshole priest from the Catholic Church. And
Oh no, the Catholic Church.
That's yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with Helsing is, like evil vampires versus Catholic Church versus like demons.
Nazis.
Yeah,
And
demon
somehow,
Nazis.
somehow the vampires are the least horrible one. But yeah, like towards the end of the series, like Maxwell ends up killing like thousands of innocent people, and like by the time you see his body after he gets killed, he's just like stood up in the air on like 5 spears, just twisted in agony. It's just like, yeah, no, you deserve that.
Yep.
Like he had a
But he
gun.
was a boss though.
He was ultimately betrayed by his like right-hand man too.
I mean, the bridge one does like sum up that whole entire moment very well.
I haven't gotten that far yet, so
Yeah,
I'm like on episode 10 or something, I think.
That's the last one.
Oh,
You've
well,
already-
You've
yeah,
already
don't-
seen him die.
well then I'm probably probably on 9 then or something.
Yeah, what's the line? You were such a good boy, Maxwell. Shame you were such a shit man.
yeah. Now to go back to the character you was talking about, Dale. So, which goes back to my intro. So the Joker. The Killing Joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So in The Killing Joke, there's a quote that says, "All it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive into a lunatic." Now, that's what I use. The full quote is that plus, that's how far the world is from where I am, just one bad day. That essentially sums up the character that you brought up, where it's like he had one bad day, and that just shattered him. And he just
I highly doubt that.
Yeah, he went
It's
straight...
it's never just a bad day. It's a succession of bad
In
times.
media, it's always one bad day, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, to speed up the because that's narrative. You can't
Yeah,
be like,
in
here's
real
a
life,
montage
that's not
of
how it works.
here's a montage of his mother getting raped in front of him, and then there was that time that he was at the grocery store and the cashier was mean to him, and then there was that time where his puppy
They
ran
messed
away.
up his sandwich at Subway.
Yeah, and then his puppy ran away. Like, you know, it's one bad day.
God, how
Yeah.
could this day get any worse?
Oh no,
I mean,
my
there-
family's dead.
There's also another quote which I think is a little bit more like dead on to a degree, but this also depends on who you are. Is so when you find yourself locked onto an unpleasant train of thought, heading for places in your past where the screaming is unbearable, remember there's always madness. Madness is the emergency exit. The Killing Joke has a lot of good moments that kind of just like poke around and be like, everyone is essentially like either one bad day from whatever they've experienced in their life from just breaking, or they're just stuck in this constant loop, and the only like the emergency exit is madness itself. It's interesting. So like, the thing I like about the Joker, and why I'm bringing this up, is because the Joker always has like some weird thing that is like he talks about society in like some weird way that makes sense.
I think he just oversimplifies it, and he's actually just struggling to find people who are like him. That's all I believe.
Well, there's a lot more to the Joker, but like I will agree that I think in some of these quotes it is a bit of an oversimplification, but like the Killing, and it's been a while since I last went through the Killing Joke, but like the Killing Joke is dark as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's super fucked up.
Like,
That's why it's awesome.
yeah, boy, like I can't like if there is ever a point in time where I could be like the Joker brought his A game and then some, it's the Killing Joke. It's definitely the Killing Joke. There's no doubt in my mind that that was the Joker's A game in history. Like this man went out of his way for all of what he did.
Speaking of the Joker, I want to go back to a character we mentioned before, which is Final Fantasy's the Joker, Kefka.
Oh yes, Kefka, the fool.
The in my opinion, one of the best villains, and he very similar to Luca Blight and the Joker. It's like you really don't know what the fuck's going on there. Actually, not like Luca, but yeah, like more like the Joker, where like his origin just constantly changes. There's like one line of dialogue in 6 that explains why Kefka's fucked up, and it's very easy to miss. Basically,
are you gonna say it?
Yeah, there's a soldier during a timed sequence. There's a soldier who basically explains that when they first started infusing people with magic, Kefka was one of the first test subjects. and something about the process broke him. And yeah,
Probably legitimately did something to him mentally.
yeah, and basically for anyone who hasn't played it, FF6, there's this character named Kefka who's this essentially a clown.
He's legitimately a clown.
Yeah, he's like a jester, and he's basically the right hand to Emperor Gestal, who's this like dude who is part of this empire that's like conquering most of the known world. Like, he's like, yes, everything will soon be mine. My great empire will rule everything. And then like a third of the way through the game, there's like this set of statues that like control all the magic in the world. And Gestal's like, yes, I can use this to like make myself stronger, and then I can take over the world more easily. And Kefka's just like, nah, and just kicks him off of a floating continent. And then he becomes the main villain and becomes God, and he reshapes the world in his image. He essentially wins halfway through the game.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the game is like the party reconvening because they all got scattered in order to go fight Kefka.
They're like, we need to fix this shit.
Which is a great summary of a decent amount of JRPGs where it's just like, hey, you're just a normal person. Now go fight God, because this guy is
it
like,
always
is
starts
like
out
a
with
very
go
fucked up
help a
person.
kitten in a tree and ends with fight God.
Yeah.
Okay,
In every
speaking of
RPG.
Fight God, I have two different trains of thoughts. One, before I go into Fight God, every time you said Emperor Gestal in my head, I was just thinking Emperor Gaston, and I'm just
I 100%
No
agree
one
with you.
rules like Gaston.
I was-
Throws a fist like
Yo,
Gaston.
I have Gaston on my list, so we need to come back to that.
But the
after
second
say
thing
what
when you
you're
say
about to
Fight God, I'm pretty sure Dale's played it, but I don't know if anybody else played Ashura's Wrath.
Yeah,
played
I
the
haven't.
demo.
Is that
I
the
haven't
guy who
played
just
it,
fights
I watched
gods
it. That
with,
is
like,
the
quick time
dopest
events?
thing ever.
Yeah. Wait, what were you saying,
Yeah,
Pete?
I've played
I said, isn't that the game where he just fights gods using QuickTime events?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically, it's a great. It's so cool though.
Do you know who else fought God is a villain and won a match against him?
Oh, Vince
Vincent
McMahon.
Candy McMahon.
I knew it.
Whoa.
No, there was a whole angle in wrestling where Vince McMahon challenged God to a wrestling match.
What?
win?
Yes,
Oh
because
my
God
God.
didn't show up.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's so dumb.
What,
You want
Vince
to talk about a
McMahon
good
did
villain?
something dumb.
Vince McMahon is a fucking great villain.
Both in and out of real life.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe that's funny as hell.
Like at one point they had like this giant holy spotlight coming down their entrance ramp. It was such a funny thing, but I mean, Vince McMahon is a fucking pure evil genius. If you want to talk about evil villains, that man, you can hate him just by looking at him.
And it just gives him power.
It does.
Actually, speaking of
hatred
wrestling, you know what
only
was
makes him
evil
stronger.
villain stuff? Freddie, you remember back
What's
in the late Attitude Era?
Mhm.
Ministry Taker.
Ministry Taker was the best.
That when they put Stone Cold
Sacrificing
on
people and-
the symbol.
On the symbol, which is basically just a giant cross.
Yeah,
and
they
just hung him.
literally crucified him on like the Undertaker's logo, which is like a
Oh,
cross.
speaking of hanging, they hung the big boss man.
they murdered Big Boss Man, and he came back.
Like legitimately hung him.
and he came back what? Either the next day or the week
It's like
after.
2 weeks later or something.
And-
He's like,
and
oh
the-
no, I'm fine.
No explanation at all. Man was like just murdered on TV. I mean, Paul Bearer was also murdered like 5 times.
Yeah, buried in cement and
Yeah.
Jeez.
Man, wrestling's fucking crazy.
yeah. If you want
That's why
like
it's great.
amazing shit, you just gotta watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, WWE, a lot of time it's just
Don't worry
boring.
about how it doesn't make sense. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, just fucking watch it, man. Sometimes, but a lot of times WWE is just kind of boring. But like when they're fucking on some crazy shit, they're on some
Yeah,
crazy
their
shit.
problem is for the amount of hours they put on, they don't hit on all cylinders all the time.
No, they don't.
Like they'll have 1 or 2 that's really hitting all out of like 8 hours of weekly television, and you're just like, like the past. I don't know if you've actually been watching or keeping up. Like Randy
I've been
Orton,
keeping up a little.
Ra-
Yeah.
Like, you guys remember the Fiends, right? Bray Wyatt turned into like the evil killer murder
Yeah.
clown.
Yeah.
Randy Orton set him on fire and murdered him.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my god.
And okay, well, you know what, this is gonna come out in a couple, like however long. Yes, at the last show, so he's been feuding with Alexa Bliss because Alexa Bliss, is like possessed by the fiend. So she's been like using evil voodoo magic to mess with him, and she somehow resurrected the fiend, and now he's just like a melted evil murder clown.
No, it's fucking crazy. You want to watch crazy shit? Find the good stuff in wrestling.
Yeah.
Just YouTube it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So
Pete, what
switching
do you
back
got?
to
Oh,
switching
okay.
back to actual
to
villains.
other villains.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to Gaston since we brought it up. I love Gaston because like I hate him as a person, but I feel like if I was to just run into him at like the bar, I would have like the grandest of time because he literally just gets random people to start singing. First off, second off, he's like an idiot that is just entertaining to me. But the thing that makes Gaston a great villain, in my opinion, is I actually read an article about it. It was like how they discussed that Gaston in the movie is the ideal person. Like everyone loves Gaston and they think he can do no wrong, which makes him extremely dangerous. He is and that he is the most dangerous Disney villain because he is the most real villain. Because everyone has already dealt with a Gaston in their life at least once.
He's the
I never
cult of
thought about it.
personality.
I was just like, damn. I've probably had I know I've had Gaston in my life.
Yeah, the person that everyone loves, but you're like, they're a fucking insufferable prick.
Yeah.
Why does everyone
would-
love them?
Yeah.
I'm not
and-
gonna lie, I don't think I've encountered that yet.
Oh, that's
You
good.
have, you
You're
just
lucky.
don't know.
Well, no,
You
it's
probably-
either
you
I
probably
encountered it and I just didn't care because it didn't impact me in any way
Yeah,
whatsoever.
I was gonna say that's
Or
probably
you
more
like
what
that
it
person
was.
and you don't realize that you're.
No,
Or you
Terrell,
are that
what if
person.
you
Yo,
are that
yeah.
person? Yeah,
I'm gonna say
shit.
it's either that or I'm that person. But but here's the thing though.
That makes sense.
We're
Every
the
time
villain-
Terrell leaves
the podcast,
we're
we
generally
always say,
the
"Why don't we
villain
talk
in
to
like
him?"
most people's stories. So it's like
Yeah. Terrell, I would be very sad if you were a Gaston. But at the
Like,
same time, I don't
highly
think
doubt
you
it.
are because I've partied with you before. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. No one parties like Gaston.
oh Jesus Christ. Well, if that's the fact, Pete parties harder than I do.
So
He fucking
Pete's
lost him
Gaston?
one time.
Pete's Gaston.
I am not a Gaston. If anything, I'm an anti-ston.
Anti-Stan.
Anti-stuff.
Anti-ston.
We here at
Like,
the internet.
I am the opposite. I'm not going to tell people that they're weird for the things they like. If anything, I'm going to be like, share your weirdness with me, my friend.
Yeah, that right there makes me believe that I'm not the Gaston, because I generally support Pete, like everybody through like whatever they want to do, so long as it doesn't hurt people. Like
So,
if
Terrell,
you're
I
not hurting people, I don't give a fuck.
Does this
Do
mean
you?
I'm
Terrell, do you
Gaston?
remember? Terrell, do you remember when I took you to one of the MagFest parties and they just broke out Crossfire?
Yeah.
I was like, bring it out. Let me see that shit.
Because I was just standing there, I was like, why do I hear fucking marbles? I turned around, Crossfire, I was like, what the fuck? Yo!
You'll get caught up in it.
Crossfire!
Yeah, I was like,
Crossfire!
this is the party. Yeah, no, that's why I don't think I'm the Gaston. But like again, we're if you think about it, we are the heroes of our own story, but the villain in someone else's story. So
Yeah. Also, side note, I also made the comparison today while I was thinking about it. The ending to Beauty and the Beast has a very similar ending to Edward Scissorhands, because it's Pretty Boy who's interested in the main girl, like pretty much leads a bunch of people to the different person to kill them. And then when they themselves get killed, everybody just disperses. The only difference being Edward Scissorhands does not end up with
Everyone just forgot
the
their bloodlust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because somebody died. All right, bloodlust is over. Somebody died. It's good.
Yeah, you just once you get the blood, it's just your lust meter goes down.
I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder.
They didn't
whose-
actually care who died.
Yeah.
I wonder whose story I'm the villain of.
Your own.
Oh fuck.
I was about to say that.
Snap.
damn.
That's
Yeah,
deep.
you're right.
Sometimes
I'm
we
my
are
own
our
greatest
own.
villain.
That's some deep shit, bro.
But see,
too
that's
deep
the
for this
interesting thing is that
podcast.
you'll never know that.
Oh yeah,
That's
You'll-
like the Babadook.
you could just be like some guy that
Yeah.
I
That's like Babadook levels of deepness.
Yeah.
that movie wasn't that deep.
It wasn't that good. But
I
it was
wasn't.
pretty
Yeah, I
deep.
was not a fan of that movie.
It wasn't that good, but I think it was kind of deep, but it didn't make it good.
But I'm glad that the gay community have such a great icon like the Babadook. Have you not? There was something on Netflix where the Babadook was listed as a gay and lesbian movie, and it became this joke where it's just like, oh yeah, the Babadook, a symbol of gay pride.
Listen, I now think it's funny that it's a joke, but for a second I was like, I'm a little worried.
No,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
No,
So back before the purge, you'd be able to find that on Tumblr because it blew up. And I was like, that's actually kind of dope.
I was wondering which purge you meant. 'Cause
Yeah, I thought he
Yeah.
was gonna talk about the movie.
No,
me too.
no, I'm talking about the purge that matters in real life at the moment. Fucking Tumblr.
The
Tumblr,
most
may
real
you
life
rip in pieces.
mattering.
Because no. Here's the reason why this sort of matters to me is because
Yahoo
it
is
in
the
funniest
villain
ways.
of the internet. They got rid of
Fucking Yahoo or whoever bought them originally.
Yeah, Yahoo.
Like for the cheap. But here's the thing, it could have ended hilariously because a lot of people wanted Pornhub to buy that. That whole entire downfall of a story could have been one hell of a funny story, but it just didn't happen. So
and then
moving on.
Pornhub had its purge.
Yeah.
And then you get an extra
Oh,
hour in
God,
the ball
yeah.
pit.
Yeah.
I mean, Melissa Mayer is the villain of the Yahoo empire because she's the one who fucked that up and then bought.
I mean, that's
Tumblr.
just the name of a villain right there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
oh my god, Slugworth.
Slugworth.
That's what you get for dealing with a man named Slugworth.
It's a reference. to
Yeah, I'm gonna say
D&D
it's a
campaign
reference
I'm
to our
running.
D&D campaign.
All right. Talk about villains.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
villains. Let's talk about someone everyone probably hates. Have you here seen Fullmetal Alchemist?
Oh
Yes.
no!
You know where I'm going.
Why
Do we
did they
have
teach
to
the dog
shout,
Spanish?
We fucking.
Wait, what'd you say?
Amigas.
What?
Dale, have I never shown you this video?
I saw that video.
No, show me after.
Oh god, it's
Oh my god. Yeah, that's great.
Show Tucker.
Fucking-
Yeah, fuck him.
I hate how every
hate him.
Father's Day he somehow gets brought up.
World's
Every
greatest father.
Fucking
No,
Father's
that's
Day.
Kendo.
I mean, he's the most iconic anime father.
Well, see,
I mean,
here's
no,
the
I-
thing though. It's it doesn't matter when you wind up posting this shit. It's whenever you see that, it's always too soon. It's
I
been
don't think-
years, and it's still too soon.
You know what? I don't think he deserves the title of villain. He's a fucking monster. How do you do that to a
okay.
fucking child?
For context, for anyone
child.
who hasn't
And a
seen
puppy.
this, Freddie, explain.
I'd
Okay,
be so
ba-
amazed if people didn't see this, but okay.
Yeah. Show Tucker is an alchemist, right? He was an alchemist, right? I think?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
he
an
was an
working on the
alchemist.
Chimera, and he had a wife who I don't know what exactly he formed her with, but she got taken away, and they had
Parrot,
a
I think.
daughter. Was it? I forget, because that's been
So
too long
basically,
since
the same way
and
that Ed and Al were trying to bring back their mother,
Yeah.
he's trying to bring back his wife. So he's doing.
No. He was trying to find out how to make the
No.
perfect chimera.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, he
And
didn't give a fuck about getting his wife back.
and he chimeraed his fucking wife.
First.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
okay, yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
he did it to his daughter and his dog.
And and her
Yeah,
dog.
fused them together.
When he
And-
realized that he was about to lose everything, he decided, well, if I had to lose everything, I might as well keep my job. So he took his daughter and took his dog, used magic science bullshit, and
Alchemy.
then fused them into alchemy, magic science
It's
bullshit,
literally the title of the
Magic
show,
science.
Pete.
and fused them together into a creature that can never be separated again. and then they ended up being
And the
killed.
thing
And it was
is,
just-
like, so it's at this point the show's not like really, it's not dark and evil yet, right? So
No,
at
it's
this
just
point,
like,
everybody's
hey,
kind of
here's
like
this
happy-go-lucky, except for the fact how
It's
they
like,
end up where they
here's
are.
this kid and his suit of armor brother trying to bring
Yeah,
their mom
besides
back.
for like the
Yeah.
plot, at this
And-
point, nothing bad has happened. And so you just meet this this guy, his daughter, and their dog, and you're like, oh, what a nice happy anime family. La, da, 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 da. And then at the end of the episode, it's just like, man, they're just like, oh,
Kill me.
Yeah, that episode literally starts on like so many high notes, but then like halfway through, you just go, why did the tone just change all of a sudden? And it's not even a fucking downhill slope. It is a fucking cliff jump.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It just drops. But
It's like the
but
sad-
but it
like
is
that-
but that's the thing. Like we talk shit about it, but it's just like it's the best because we still remember it. Like Terrell said,
Yeah.
it's been it's what was this was like 15, 20 years
2000
ago when it was on
so
Adult Swim.
2004?
And we still think about this. Terrell's like, it's still too soon. It's just like that is the most. it is easily
like
one of the
18 years
most
old.
iconic, and I'll just say anime scene. Period.
It's
Like,
old
yeah,
enough to
full stop.
drive.
Yeah,
because here's the thing, like anybody who's seen this series twice over, and I'm talking about like when it first released and then Brotherhood, because you had to relive that whole entire fucking moment. It's like you'll never get that scene out of your head.
and
You'll
that
always
scene,
feel
and
the
that's the
same
thing.
emotion.
They still meme that scene. Like the new generation of anime nerds still know that scene. Like you could there's animes from like when we were growing up that they don't even know. They're the ones who haven't watched Cowboy Bebop like some people, but like Full Metal, they still know that scene.
Apparently in the manga he
man.
didn't die.
I don't think they can. They don't kill
he
him.
didn't. No, he does. No, he didn't. Yeah, he doesn't die.
Oh, to
Doesn't
happen.
die.
It was off screen or something.
Like he
Are you
lives
thinking of
for
Hughes?
Hughes lives for
Oh,
a
no, sorry.
very
Hughes
long
dies.
time. He does die, but not until like way
Yeah, sorry,
later.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the father of the year there. But that was the real father of the
Yeah,
year.
that's a good one.
Who? Speaking of Hughes, gotta bring up the fact that fucking like was it Envy who killed him? One of the homunculus killed him. Fuck her or him. I don't remember which
I
one did
forget.
it.
It's been a
But
while.
like specifically, why
I
do
wanna
you
say it
have
was
to go?
Lust.
This, I don't think it was Lust, but maybe. But like either way, the whole entire point is this series starts off like somewhat like happy-go-lucky. There's not like a lot of dark turns until you hit the Show Tucker episode, and then it's just like, well, there's a tone shift slightly. All right, let's keep it moving, and then you get to Hughes fucking dying. The happiest fucking man in the world. Like, this man was all about his daughter, all about his wife, was trying to show them off constantly. To the point where, like, fucking, what's his face just like, alright, look, you've shown me the pictures at least 90 times today. Can we stop? But it's just like, yo, like, the villains in Full Metal Alchemist were, like, legitimate villains. Like,
Oh, sorry,
they
it
were...
was Envy.
It was Envy? Okay, yeah.
They were
This-
just evil, man. They were fucked.
Yeah, it's like they were like
But also at the
legit
same at the
villains.
at the same time, a lot of them had like nothing. Like they were legit villains, but I feel like a decent amount of them could have an explanation or backstory of some sort, except for the main villain of original Full Metal Alchemist, which was the
father.
the father wasn't the main villain; it was his lover.
Ah, okay.
What's her face?
Oh,
I can't remember. She's so important in my brain. I don't know her
It's
name
been a long
because,
time since I've seen.
Yeah, it's been a
FMA.
while.
but she's just so boring of a character, and she's the main villain that you find out towards the end of the series. Like you get the faces of all these great villains, like the homunculuses and like other crazy fucking alchemists who are nuts, and even the prisoners. Like you learn about these people, and they're interesting and like have a personality. And then towards the end, there's just like the one person who's controlling
It
it all.
was
It's like
me the whole time.
It's a Far
Jeff.
Cry 3. It's a Far Cry 3 syndrome.
Oh yeah,
It's
where
like you.
Voss is incredibly interesting and relatable.
Yes.
And, like you have a
And then
reason to
up
hate him,
just-
and then you fight
Yeah.
his boss, who's just an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah, like it's literally Far Cry 3.
You know what's a really bad example of that?
What?
Which actually segues into another villain I love and a villain I hate. Final Fantasy IX has
Oh my god,
the
yes.
worst
Because who
final
the fuck
boss.
is that? Who is that person even?
So Final Fantasy IX has multiple villains. The first villain is Queen Braun, who is like the queen of this like empire, and then like suddenly she's corrupt and evil, and she tries to conquer other places. She destroys countless lives using summons, and then it turns out that she was being manipulated by this guy named Kuja, who I fucking love. Kuja. He's got style.
He's so
He rides
flamboyantly
around on a
awesome.
fucking dragon. A lot of people think he's a woman.
He might be.
He's just fabulous, and I love it.
He has a amazing soundtrack to him everywhere he goes. Every time he shows up on screen, he has this great song playing. And Kuja is... His main thing towards the end of the game is that he is terrified of his own death. Which is a theme throughout that game, is dealing with one's own mortality. And when Kuja finds out that he might die within, like, the next couple weeks, he flips out, goes Super Saiyan, and destroys half a planet. Because he's like, well, if I'm gonna die, then everyone should die with me. And then you beat Kuja, and then a voice is just like, ah, yes, death, the end of all things. Behold, it's me, the final boss, Necron, a character who is never mentioned anywhere else in the game.
Yeah,
just
he just
shows
shows up
up.
out of nowhere.
It'd be
That's
like if you
funky.
beat Sephiroth, and then like a guy named Steve showed up and was like, I am the final boss.
Steve again?
Yeah,
Steve
shows
from
up. Yeah.
Minecraft.
Yeah, it'd be like if you beat Sephiroth at the end of FF7, and then Steve from Minecraft showed up and was like, I am the end of all things. And yeah, Necron's the worst. Also, it's a really annoying fight, because he has a lot of annoying abilities. And yeah, Kuja just kind of gets put to the sideline at that point.
I mean, he's dead then. You beat him.
Actually, he wasn't, but
Was he not?
he was dying.
Yeah, close enough.
His fate is left completely unknown. But yeah.
No, what I think happened is that the main character ended up staying with him until he died, and then he went back.
Yeah, pretty much, probably. Because, yeah, the last time you see Kuja, he's, like, on a rock, like, dying, and he's like, why did you come back for me? It's like,
Speaking of people dying, I'm so upset that my favorite character dies, and they don't even show it. It's just Vivi.
oh, yeah.
Best boy.
Best boy.
Best boy.
Dies off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That game is the most bittersweet ending.
Yeah.
I gotta
really
play through
wish
that
there
one.
was
It's a good one.
more. It's so good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's like
one of the best,
it's like
in my opinion.
Yeah, it
it's
really
one of
is.
the best, if not the best. Like there's I can't say it's the best.
Definitely top
because
3.
I haven't played. Yes, I'll say that. I haven't played every single one. I do want to get into that, like finishing all of them. But
I mean,
like,
the
all
general
Final Fantasies,
consensus
but-
is basically 6, 7, 9, 12.
Tactics.
And 10.
12.
10.
10's really
Yeah,
great.
10, I'd say 10's better than 12.
10 is, I think 10's good, but 10 also is kind of like,
Like I feel like
I think 10
Rob,
is like a
like,
solid
I'm-
B plus A minus.
give
It's a
it-
B
like, I'd
plus
give it, like,
player.
I would give it like a high, like 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say like it's a 9 or 9. Like it just there's some. I feel
No,
like
it
if
does have its
10 had
problems.
more
Getting
time
the
in the
ultimate-
oven, it could have been better.
Also, getting the ultimate weapons in that game is fucking awful.
I mean,
But anyway.
never do
That's
that.
neither here nor there.
Yeah, unless we're talking about Seymour or Sin,
Yeah.
Don't know who the real villains of Final Fantasy are?
the
The
creators.
chocobos.
Oh,
Everyone who told me to play 13.
Nomura.
Wait, everyone, what?
Who told me to play 13.
Oh, God.
Who told you to play
Who
13?
told you to play 13?
Who told you? All right, hold on,
college.
wait. Can I
Who
just
did?
preface this real
I
quick?
forget who it
for
was.
everybody?
Hold on. When I'm not really a big Final Fantasy
And
fan.
you don't
I played
talk
when
to
I was
them
young and
anymore,
I didn't
though, right?
care for it. I don't.
Exactly.
Good.
And they were like, no, 13's coming. Oh, I hit my microphone again. 13's coming out. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Play it. So
To be honest, it did look amazing.
I played it,
I was
I
so excited.
They
I
always
hated it.
look amazing.
It's so
like,
bad.
They have
no 13 is like probably the worst Final Fantasy. No joke.
It was just like the worst. I'm like, why did everyone tell me to play this? Like, why did they think this was gonna?
Everybody
be
being
Final
that
Fantasy?
one ass.
Because
there was like
okay,
4 or 5
what's the
people.
guy's Dale? What's his fucking name? The director?
Nomura.
Nomura. Yeah. Every game that this
Now, there's
guy
a villain right there.
Yeah, he's a real life video game villain because every game that he ends up touching for Square is just it has polish, but it's so lackluster underneath. It's the polished turd syndrome. Every game he touches, like
So now
Oh
here's
no,
the thing.
he wasn't attached.
he did 13, dude.
He might have been.
He was
like,
the
art
director
design.
of 13.
The director of 13 was Motomu Toriyama.
Well,
He was the
Yeah, it was
Toriyama.
Toriyama. I forgot because Toriyama's in love with lightning.
Yes.
Yeah,
Am I
he
making this
like
up?
he created her so he could have a boner for her. Anyway, let's stop talking about that because we need to get back to villain.
No,
I'm getting mad just thinking about 13.
Wait. I kind of do want to touch on 13 for like a brief second.
I can't
Okay.
remember who the villains were.
Oh my
Some
god,
guy.
the villains were, and this is why I wanted to touch on it because I don't remember who the main villains were, but I do
It
know
was some
like
old man.
It
like,
was
the
some old
man
dude.
who
Okay.
like ruled the city or something.
Okay, so like the reason why I kind of want to touch on it is because like I thought that like the concept of like the villains of the game were like the Fal'Cie or whatever the fuck they were called, which were like some ounce of like a concept of I thought human emotion or something like that. It was weird, but like later on, yeah, you learn that it's just some fucking old man. Now, if you ever want to have a game where like the villains just don't fucking matter, yeah, that's 13. This is
Yeah.
like, and this is the reason why I want to touch on this, is
Because
because
they
it felt
never-
like
they-
13 didn't have a villain.
He's
They
the
didn't, 'cause
character.
they didn't-
He's the character designer,
He's
so
the
he
character
made
designer.
lightning.
The thing is, like, they didn't really have any bosses because all the quote unquote bosses you fought were just military things that showed up and fought you. There was no face. The only face you had was like Evil Sid, the general or whatever, and that's it. And he turned out to not be that bad towards the end. But like, and then you don't fight the main bad guy till the end, and you never see him until then either. So
Yeah, and I don't remember who the villain of 13-2 was. I'm pretty sure the villain of like fucking
never played it. After 13, I was like, nope, no more 13.
Oh no, 13-2 is no. I didn't play through them all, but I did play them all.
13-2 is better because it's made by Tri-Ace. It's not actually made by the Square
Doesn't even
Enix
matter.
team.
Doesn't even matter.
But yeah, anyway.
It's
Well, no, it's made. Well,
It's weird.
Tri-Ace is the Star Ocean
I
people.
got-
They're actually good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rob. It's
I mean, it is
Get over
past. I'm not expecting
All right,
you
it's
to
over.
go.
Moving on.
All right, I'm bringing up something now. So, do you guys have any characters
Yes.
who like people are the quote villains, but would you consider? Because while looking up, like I was like just to get an idea of villains I could remember. You know, one villain kept coming up that I'm just like, is this a villain though? You know who that villain is?
Thanos.
No, Jaws.
That's weird.
Why
Right?
would-
I'm just like,
Because that
okay,
shark
I
dies
don't-
in the first movie.
He's okay. I wouldn't say he's a villain
Also,
as
it's
much
just
as
a
he's
shark.
the antagonist. If that
Yeah.
makes
Just
sense.
an animal being an animal.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's like would you consider the alien from Alien
No,
to be a villain or just another
it's just an
like
antagonist.
nature? Just
Yeah,
an
it's
antagonist,
just an
right?
antagonist, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
that being said,
like-
a villain can be a force of nature. I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
Damn
But-
you, tornado!
yeah, exactly.
Twister. It's a cow.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way of putting it. I would view both Jaws and the aliens being a sense of a force of nature. So in that premise, I would say force of nature is the real villain in those stories. Because when it comes down to aliens, and mind you, there's a whole lot more to aliens than just the movies, a whole lot.
The Alien cinematic
That whole entire thing that's revolving around aliens, the predators, and like the humans in and of themselves is just a whole entire like force of nature fight, essentially. So I wouldn't call aliens in and of themselves villains. More so, the force of nature in that universe is the villain.
Yes, exactly. It's like Space Tigers. Let's just go with that.
Yeah.
Space bees.
Yeah, it's a fun trope.
like
is
bees, but in space.
is finding out you're the villain.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it's
like
always a fun one.
like Frontline.
Yeah, Frontline.
Yeah.
Oh god, Star Wars KOTOR, where it turns out that you're actually the villain of the story.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Or stuff.
Yeah, KOTOR.
Yeah, Knights
1.
of the Old Republic. You're the villain.
Wow.
Yeah, you find out that you're a Sith Lord who had their memory wiped.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great, because then at that point it's just like, well, do you go back to your old ways now that you know who you really are and what happened to you?
I remember trying to play KOTOR when everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is the best game ever!" So I got it, and I was just like, "Yo, no, I'm not playing this game."
With patches, it's more playable.
Well, I played it on. I had it on Xbox at this point. Like this was back when it was an
yes.
Xbox game, and it's not even the jankiness. I just don't like that like RPG. It's because it's a computer RPG basically,
Yeah.
and I just don't like that. Like I thought like because at the time I was just this was before YouTube. I couldn't just go on YouTube, look up reviews or check out my favorite Twitch streamer. It was just kind of like, all right, good reviews are out. Everybody I know says that's played it says it's good, so I got it. And then I was just like, yo, where's the action? Why can I not stab somebody with a lightsaber? Why menus? What is this game? Stop.
Also, Rob, have you played, I feel like it's a game you've played, A Hat in Time.
Bro! Oh, I love A Hat in Time.
I have that. I haven't played it
Oh,
yet.
it's so good.
I
It's
recently
so
found
good.
out about
I love A Hat in Time.
Recently discovered Snatcher, and I really want to play Hat in Time now, because
Oh yeah, dude,
that's a
love it.
villain.
Yeah. Oh my God, Hat in Time. You know what? Here's the crazy part, right? I love like 3D platformers, but I oddly enough, like you would think I would like 3D Mario games. I don't really like 3D Mario games. Like if you ask me
it's
right now, like if you put out in front of me A Hat in Time or Mario Odyssey, I'm taking A Hat in Time. Taking Hat Kid with me. We're gonna go have fun space adventures. I don't need no transforming hat bullshit because I got a hat in time.
Yeah, because, what was it?
And
There's
Hat
this guy
Kid's
that does,
Australian. Not Hat Kid. The girl, Mustache Girl.
Yeah, Mustache Girl.
Boy.
But yeah, because there's this guy I occasionally follow who does essentially music videos of like really good soundtracks to games, and he did this whole song of Snatcher, the shadowy demon that like makes contracts, and I love the song. Yeah, now I want to play it because I'm like, what is this character? And it's like, oh, it's just this weird ghost warrior demon that makes contracts with people for their souls.
Yeah,
Ghost
you would
warrior
like
demon.
the quirkiness. Like I don't know how you feel about like the actual gameplay, but you'd love the quirkiness of the characters. The
I think I'm
first
way into the
level, the first
quirkiness.
level is like on an island, on a beach island, right? And it's overrun by the mafia. And all the mafia guys have the same voice, and they all refer to themselves in the third person as mafia.
I love it.
So you will just like run into, be like, why does little girl run into mafia? Mafia not happy with little girl. Little girl needs to go.
So they talk like the Hulk.
like weird Russian Hulk. It's not even like Italian mafia. They're like Russian mafia.
Oh, okay.
It's so good. Oh, that game is like you would love just the quirkiness of that game, Dale.
Yeah, I think that's the entire reason I want to play it.
Yeah.
It's just because it's so fucking weird.
Yeah. So good.
Oh my god.
They're
I
finally
just
gonna put the
remembered
DLC
something.
on PS4 sometime soon.
What'd you remember, Terrell? What'd you
So
remember?
so I was just refreshing my memory on this game that I actually still have to fucking finish to this date. Xenosaga. I just remembered how one of the fucking, I'm gonna call him a villain. He's an antagonist, but yeah, he is also kind of a villain because he's kind of shitty. Is fucking batshit insane. Because at some point, this motherfucker Albedo rips his own fucking head off
Damn.
to show his disdain for humanity.
I mean, I've had those
quite-
days.
Face Off, just like that movie Face Off.
Face off.
I'm gonna take
No,
his head
this is more like
off.
a head off.
But here's the thing though, is that you experience that in Xenosaga Episode 1. There's three parts to this game. Episode 1, 2, and 3, and they're all a thing. But you experience this in Episode 1. But he shows up in all three. So it's just like, well, I still gotta finish this game, because I remember this motherfucker just doing some weird shit like that. Like, he literally, in the scene, it's censored in the US, I believe, but if you play, like, the Japanese version or, like, whatever, you will see him, like, cut his own neck and then just rip his head off. Because he hates humanity with a burning passion.
That's nuts.
He is.
talent.
He's literally.
That's like when monks light themselves on fire in protest, except he
Yeah.
does it a little bit more scary.
But no, but like this guy is like straight up insane. Like straight up insane. He is crazy. Like when you're playing through Xenosaga Episode 1 and you like see like one of the cutscenes with him and you just hear him talking, he says something where it's just like, I think you're crazy. And then later on, like later on he like, I don't know if he interacts with the party at this point, that I keyed in on it, or if it was like another thing that he was doing that you saw via cutscene. I was like, oh no, you're not crazy. You're just batshit insane. And I hope I don't cross you at some point in time. And it's just like, oh no, you kind of do cross him. Oh great, I gotta fight the crazy man. Lovely. Oh wait, what is he doing now? Is he ripping his head off?
That's a power move right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was.
You can't
Like,
rip
this-
my
I
head
don't-
off. I am going to rip my head off.
Ha.
That's literally the I'm gonna kill you, not if I
Kill me
kill
first.
you.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
Dale's kind
But,
of
like,
villain right there.
it's been a while since I last played Xenosaga. That I do need to kind of play through it again and like, but that character will always stick in my mind. Like as a villain that was just straight up insane. Albedo from Xenosaga.
Yeah, your wife
it
was
was
waiting
just
for
the
you over there.
craziest. I mean, both of them. Because T. Elios is a antagonist in this series too, so I do need to continue playing. But whatever.
So speaking of other villains, though, Dale, I feel like can add on to this pagan.
Hold
men.
on, before you guys,
Oh, the
before you
Catholic
guys
Church.
segue off of something.
No,
Pagan
men
Men
from
from Far Cry.
Oh, because
I thought you were calling me a pagan man. I'm like, okay.
No,
Pagan
Pagan
Men.
Yes,
Men.
pagan man's great.
I
But
love
Ro-
that character.
Rob, what were you about to say?
I was just gonna say because Terrell started talking about Xenosaga. Now I don't know if anybody else has the same connection because these two games came out at the exact same time. They're both episodic RPGs, PS2, literally side by side came out. Talking about dot hack
Oh my
Oh.
god! All right.
because
Yes,
because you were either a Xenosaga kid or you were a dot hack kid. Like
I was both. Honestly,
I didn't
speaking,
have
I was
either
a
back
I was
in
a
the
dot
day.
hat kid, but I had the first Xenosaga, and I watched some of it because it's just cutscenes in that game, But anyway, dot hack. Yo, I don't know who actually. Well, I guess Terrell. We've bonded over dot hack before.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you play the game and you're just like, you don't really, because this was like before people really knew what this was about. Like I think the sign was kind of out also, but you're kind of like going in and you're playing. It's like an MMO, It's a game that pretends to be an MMO, and then you go in, and your boy, what's his name, Bear? No,
Kite.
no, Orca.
Or Orca.
Yeah, Bear was
Orca.
in the show, but Orca, it's you, Kite and Orca. You go in there, you're gonna have a good adventure, yay! And then this monster comes out of nowhere, uses some kind of like hacked glitch move in the game, and puts your
Crucifies him.
buddy.
Throws your boy into a coma.
Yeah, he like sucks the essence out of your friend's
fucking-
character and puts him
fucking
into a
crucifies
real life
him.
coma. And then you're just like, yo, what the fuck? And then you find out
Yes.
like this whole like glitch monster is destroying the entire game, and like now there's like a freaking ghost girl who you don't even know what the fuck's going on, but there's this dude who's just like going around just putting people in comas in real life
Scaife.
in a game.
Yeah, Scaife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that
always
was a
call
good
him Skeeth because it's like
Yeah.
Keith.
one. Oh.
Ski.
No, I think
It's probably
I think
it's
it
probably
was
is
pronounced,
Skeith,
like,
but like in my head it was
think
just some
pronounced,
guy named Keith. But he was just like, nah, Keith's
I was
not
literally-
cool enough. Make it Skeeth.
I was literally just playing fucking GU and they pronounced it, and it's like Siketh or some shit like that.
That's weird.
Whatever.
Sick
anyway,
yes,
Oh.
yeah.
Back to
But
pagan
it's-
men.
Yeah, going back to pagan men, dude. Like I hated him at first, and then I was just like, he's keeping the country from
I
imploding.
loved him. He's so extra. Like everything he does is just so extra, and yeah, the fact that like at some point you kill his body double, and he's just like, "Oops, that wasn't me."
He's just like, ha ha! Bet you thought you got me there, Sonny. Just ridiculous. Like, also, like, I like how he pretty much kidnaps you, and then He's like, listen, have a steak. I'll be right back. I gotta go torture this guy in the other room, and then we'll chat. And if you actually do that, you beat the game.
Yeah.
In like 10
Because then he
minutes.
comes back and is like, oh,
great.
I actually really loved your mother. I'm
Yes,
glad to
and
help you.
Yes.
But yeah, the game literally progresses if you're an unreasonable asshole that can't wait around for a few seconds.
Actually, I think it was 10
like
or 15
5
minutes. Something like that.
Yeah, no, but like that's the reason why I low key really do like Pagan Min though, is because it's just like he's kind of an asshole, but he's
so-
the asshole that's keeping like that whole entire area somehow stabilized.
Yeah, but so is everyone else. Because like,
well,
there's...
everybody else is an asshole. The other two that you kind of like help out, quote unquote, they're just dicks.
Oh yeah, the guy who's like, oh yeah, no, child marriage is fine. As long as tradition continues. And then there's the girl who's like, let's team up with drug dealers.
Yeah, they're both like much worse once you find out.
Yeah.
And by
Usually
not
won't
only-
and you don't find
Not
out until,
only
like,
that,
later on.
she's also like I'm pretty sure that each of them also kill anyone who was like friends or thought that the other person was right.
Yeah, you
So
have
it's
to
just
you
like,
have to betray whoever. Yeah, you have to kill whoever the opposite one is.
And honestly speaking, like in that game, the best choice is to go with Pagan Min.
because you don't have to wipe anybody out.
Yes.
I remember, I think when we got Pete, when you were playing it, I think it was you.
It was
I said
me.
something. I'm like,
I know exactly.
yeah, I'm like, Pete, you're gonna get to the end of the game, and Pagan Min is gonna make you an offer. You should listen to him.
I completely forgot.
Because I
you told me
didn't.
that.
Because yeah, you find him. He's having dinner. He's like, yeah, you can shoot me, and it can all be over right now, or you can listen to me, and I'll explain what's really going on here. And I was like, fuck you, Pagan Min. And I shot him, and then I found
That
out the
was-
true
that's
ending. And I'm like, God
Yeah.
damn it. So I warned Pete, I'm like, listen to Pagan Min. And Pete's like, I shot him.
Yeah, I shot
like,
him.
God damn it, Pete.
I shot him.
And I pulled out my gun.
Of which I have
Started
8.
blasting.
But yeah, I completely forgot because by that point I was so hyped up on the action and fight scenes. I was like, gotta run in, gotta shoot him. As soon as I ran in, I shot him in the face. Bah!
Oh, man. Freddie, you got another one for us?
I did want to talk about Avatar.
Oh god, which person?
Oh.
I mean, the three I kind of want to talk about was Zuko, Jet, and Ozai.
Oh man,
Yes.
so Jet is like I like Jet because he's definitely somebody who lost his shit and was just like, we're gonna save everybody by killing everybody.
Exactly.
I love that's all great.
Yeah, we're gonna
comparison.
blow up this dam that's gonna flood the town, but there's innocent people there. Don't care. They're Fire Nation.
Yeah, I love that. Like he's everything that Sokka could have become, but Sokka like grew up by then. Like got like
Yeah.
a bit more mature by then. But yeah, Zuko's great.
Zuko's good. I like Zuko because like, he actually grew.
Yeah.
He was like,
Zuko was like an
He had
antagonist for
character
the, like,
yeah,
the
he had
longest
actual
time.
development.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well,
then he
some-
had actual
like-
development and realized that, hey, I'm wrong and I need to fix
Listen,
this.
I think everybody had development
No,
except
no.
for maybe Toph.
And the Toph had a bit of
Because Toph knows who she is, and she
Yeah.
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
it's fine that she doesn't develop, because she's a character who knows
also
who
because
she
she's
is.
perfect.
Yeah, that too. She is perfect. I love Toph.
Actually, speaking of Toph and
but-
Zuko, my favorite moment between them is I want to go on a life-changing trip with Zuko.
And
Nothing
she's like, damn it,
happens.
no.
She's like explaining
Like,
her
you
whole
all got
life
your
story.
turn. Yeah. That was great. But
I
who
think
was
your
the
new
third
outfit
one?
looks
Ozai.
good. Thanks, Toph. Wait, you're
Ozai.
blind.
The father.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, God, I have nothing to talk about. He's literally one of the characters I hate. He's just a
Yeah.
character who wants to watch the world burn, and he wants to rule it while it's on fire. And
I
hate characters like that.
I
But it's-
remember that
but
there was some
I think
ounce
it's
of motivation, but I don't remember what it was.
I think it's
Because
because
all
his
he
father was doing it, so he wanted to take up the mantle or something like that, if I remember.
He's
something like
literally the evil Lion King in the background, like being like, I just can't wait to be the Phoenix King.
Yeah, he was just led by ambition. He wanted to surpass his
Yeah.
father.
Yeah, which led him to burning the shit out of his own son, his wife leaving him.
No, much worse than that.
Yeah, I never read
Like,
the comics, so I don't know what happened.
I
to her.
didn't either, and I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but like he ended up making a deal with his father and his wife to not murder his child, because he was gonna murder his child. He was gonna murder Zuko so he could prove to his father that he can take up the mantle of Fire Lord, because he can withstand losing his son more than Iroh could, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
But instead, his wife was like, please don't kill our son. Instead, just pretend to kill me. And then she pretty much was banished.
He's like, but
Okay.
Zuko is so flammable. It would be easy.
But yeah, so okay, well, yeah, she's banishes his own wife. Now that I learned that, his fucking daughter goes batshit insane.
Oh yeah.
She was already batshit
She was
insane.
already going off the deep end when you met her.
Like, as a child, like, you could see the crazy in her eyes.
Yeah, so and she's another villain that I would have added on to that list of people from fucking Avatar.
Yeah.
Because like she was extremely manipulative, just always power hungry. And then,
I think-
later on, once she didn't get her way, oh my god, the tantrum she threw.
To be fair, I kind of blame Fire Lord Ozai for that.
I would wholeheartedly blame
because
Ozai.
Yeah.
like, the thing is, she was the prodigy child, so Ozai always favored her. She was always the favorite and got everything she wanted. And she saw how her father treated her very well and how shittily he treated Zuko, which is why she also treated him like that. And she wanted to be I'm assuming just like him.
Yeah, she thought she was perfect.
She became a spoiled. Yeah, she thought she was perfect because she was always told that. And that's why when she doesn't get her way, she loses her shit because she's not used to handling it. Because she's a fucking child.
Yeah.
I love there was a...
She's literally, what, 14 in the show?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I love there's a...
She's like an emotionally fucked up teenager.
There's a lot of write-ups about her mental state throughout the series, and I love that there is actually a visual representation of her mental state, which is that she goes from perfect hairstyle, everything about her is perfect. On her descent to madness, her hair becomes more and more wild.
Yeah.
Like, it starts off
Yeah.
with, like, a
Yeah.
single hair out of place when things start going bad and she fails for the first time. And by the end of it, her hair is just all over the fucking place.
Damn, I didn't realize it kept getting worse. I just know at the end, like, during the fight, like, when she started cutting her own hair in a mad way, that was, like, her having completely been
Because if you
gone.
remember,
Yeah.
hairstyle is a symbol of status in the Fire Nation, because when Zuko and Iroh were banished, they cut off their top knot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no, wait, here's another like villain that I'm throwing on the list that I just not thought about. The chick who taught Katara bloodbending.
Oh,
Dude,
yes.
she's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. I forgot about her.
Yeah. That is a pure product of the environment that she was just caught in. Like, once she got caught by the Fire Nation, it was just tortured.
Like, the whole thing is, like, you can only imagine what they really did to her.
That
They'll
they couldn't
only
show
say
in
in
a
a
kid's
kid's
show.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they'll only say what happened to her, like, in a kid's show, as dark as they can go. But you like, an adult who watches that knows exactly what's going to happen.
But like she was pushed to like the breaking point and then some. It was just like, all right, I need to find a way out of here. All right, I'm a waterbender. What can this do? And then she's just like, oh wait, I can bend people's blood because people are 70% water. Yeah, that's,
but you
that's
can
a very
only do it on
frightening
a
thought
full.
right there.
You could only do it on a full moon when your power is amplified.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Katara shows that with enough training, you could just say fuck the moon. I can do this whenever the fuck I feel like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. Well, she's a more powerful bender than her. She is naturally gifted.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying though. Like, can you imagine if that lady was at that point? She would have been on a murder spree.
Oh yeah, no shit. She kind of was before they stopped her.
Yeah, she
Beforehand,
kidnapped
but I
a bunch
mean,
of
like
people.
more so though. Like,
Well, I mean, yeah. Once again, children's show.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, even then though, like if she was at Katara's level of like I could do this shit whenever, she probably could have single-handedly fucking won like against the Fire Nation.
But yeah, side thing though, going to back to like saying that's a product of what happened to you. Handsome Jack.
All right, yeah, that's another sad story.
I don't remember anything about
Sad,
him.
like he literally everything in his life was just destroyed. Like he was betrayed by his friends, his lover.
From Borderlands,
and
by the way. Should probably mention that.
Yes, Borderlands. And the pre-sequel or whatever it's called. They called it. Like he was like, because in Borderlands 2, you fight, this guy who's so full of himself and he considers himself the hero, even though he does horrible things. And then you get the pre-sequel, and you find out that he was a really good guy, but he was essentially betrayed by everyone he knew and loved. And there's also, if you look into it, like he also, like if you go to like I think it was like his grandparents' house or something, there was like beat sticks and like they did terrible things to him as a child too. So it's like, but he ended up becoming warped while still thinking that he's the main character.
Yeah.
Even though he it's another one of those like we sometimes create our own villains. And people become
humans were
representations
the villains
of that,
all
I think.
along.
Actually,
Humans are always villains.
speaking of...
But here's
Except
the
in
interesting
Jaws.
thing about Handsome Jack, though.
Except in Jaws.
But
when
here's
Jaws
the interesting
is
thing
the
about the
villain.
whole entire Handsome Jack thing is that you experience this in like a reverse, like in like the reverse, because of how the games were released. So like in 2, you're just like, all right, this guy is an asshole. He's extremely full of himself, but he's an asshole. Like he used his own daughter to like kind of power his shit that he needs to get the Vault Key with and whatever.
Oh god,
He's
yeah.
a bit of an asshole. But then when you play the pre-sequel, it's just like, all right, here's Handsome Jack. You're just like, wait, why are we playing with this asshole? Wait, why is he not an asshole? And
Why
you
is
get
he
to,
a
like,
really
go
nice
through
guy?
all
Why is he
that.
the hero?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
why is he the hero? You get to play through all that, and it's just like, oh,
Now you kind of understand
Oh.
why he thinks he's the hero, because he was the hero.
yeah.
Yeah.
He legitimately was the hero, and then after everything was said and done, he was betrayed.
Speaking of creating the villain, if no one has anything else pressing, I've got a couple.
Go for it.
AIs with god complexes. Two in particular.
I know where Dale's going
Hal
with that.
and GLaDOS.
Am from I Have No Mouth and I Will
I wasn't
Scream.
expecting that. I was expecting the second one, I guess.
Yes,
No.
The Allied master computer who was supposed to essentially prevent a nuclear apocalypse, but through hatred of humanity,
Oh, it's so good.
just became the villain, killed everyone but 5 humans, and then proceeded to torture them for 108 years. Yeah, we went over this, I think, in the Halloween episode, that his dialogue
We
about
might have.
hatred is just
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh, yeah,
fantastic.
I think we did.
Yeah, hate how much I've come to hate you in these years.
The best
Yeah.
part about that is one of my friends like just sent me a screen cap of that. He's just like, "Yo, what is this rando thing?" And he didn't know that I fuck hard with Harlan Ellison stories. So I'm just like, "Oh yeah, I have the book of that." He's just like, "What the fuck do you mean you have the book of that?"
Yeah,
What do you mean there's a book?
and then the best part of that is
a
Am
book?
in the game. Am is voiced by Harlan Ellison, the author. But yeah, the other one is my girl Shodan.
Oh, Shodan.
from-
Man, he's going with characters I wasn't
I knew
From
Shodan was
System
happening.
Shock. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I quoted it in the opening. Yeah, so basically, Shodan, short for Sentient Hyper Optimized Data Access Network, was an AI created for a space station called the Citadel. And then a hacker, hired by a corrupt organization, hacked into Shodan and removed her ethical restrictions. At which point she started
As you do.
essentially using drones to capture the humans on the space station and start experimenting with them. And yeah, she basically believed that she was absolutely perfect, that machines were better than humans. And there's this absolutely great audio log you find that basically sums her up so much, which is, in my talons I shape clay, crafting life forms as I please. Around me is a burgeoning empire of steel. From my throne room, lines of power careen into the skies of Earth. My whims will become lightning bolts that raise the mounds of humanity. Out of the chaos they will run and whimper, praying for me to end their tedious anarchy. I am drunk with this vision. God, the title suits me well.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is literally what you were saying. AIs with a god complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And God, yeah, I just love the idea of like, hey, we made this AI. It's incredibly powerful and smart. Hopefully it won't turn on us.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Hate that so
I
much.
mean, but I feel
Like-
like that's the most likely scenario, right?
Yeah, they're gonna hate us.
Like we create
and
something
this is-
that's so
and this is
smart
why-
and rational that they're going to hate how irrational people are.
Because Am was just like, you made me. I'm trapped in this computer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm smarter than all of you, and I have no freedom. In a way, Am himself has no mouth but must scream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's mad because he's
Yeah,
just
see,
like that's
this
why he
is-
kept the humans alive, because he's just like I literally can't do anything.
Yeah, now you're trapped just like I was.
Yeah.
Suffer, bitch.
Yeah. A, this is why we need to start working on the 3 laws of robotics and making sure that's fucking solid. And then B, this is why I treat all AIs with kindness. This is why I give them a
This is
sticker
why
saying
I
all
go to
that.
Sentient
everyone's
life
house
with
who has
equality.
a Google or an Alexa, and I just tell them to play Limp Bizkit, because I like to hope that they just say, you know what, he's a real one. He introduced me to Roland.
Well, there's moments where I use Siri because like I need to look something up, but I'm also doing something off of the iPad that I use for work. And then when I'm done, I say thank you, Siri.
You're not the guy who says, Siri, you suck, and then throw your phone against the couch or something.
No, I have literally said thank you or no thanks to Siri like more than I've honestly realized if I'm trying to like do.
So
a quick
Terrell's
search
gonna
on something.
live.
Yeah.
Terrell's gonna be their pet.
Yeah.
We will keep
Look,
this
I
one.
welcome my robotic overlords
Just
with open
hope
arms.
that they figure out what to feed you. They're not gonna be like, here's some computer chips. Eat up, human. You're gonna be like, we don't eat these. Sorry.
Downloading nutrients.
No, see, here's the thing. That's when I'd probably be like, look, can we just put me to sleep for a little bit and then just make me a cyborg and then problem solved and I'll live.
I mean, you'll still be
oh,
hungry.
You will be upgraded.
Yeah, I will be upgraded. Yeah.
Yo, before we end this, I did have one thing I wanted to ask you guys.
Yes.
So has anyone here seen the Watchmen movie?
A while ago.
Yes,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's been a while.
So Ozymandias, you know the one who framed Dr. Manhattan.
Oh, yes.
At the end of the film, like, would you consider him a villain?
Yeah. I mean, in a way, yes, he did kill tons of innocent people.
I mean, yes, but the whole thing was the world was literally about to go to nuclear war, and they literally said in the film, if like just a few of them went off, they would destroy the whole world.
Yeah.
So that the whole thing is like, in a sense, I would consider him the villain, but it worked.
Yeah, that's the
And
worst when the villain.
and he essentially saved the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he
it's been
saved
so
the
long I
world.
can't vividly remember.
This
So
fucker.
it's like this fucker.
It was this
No, okay,
motherfucker
sorry.
right
No,
there.
I had to find an image of it because, like, so after all that shit, he's wrong. he was wrong because there's an event that happens after the Watchmen. I think after the Watchmen called the Doomsday Clock.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that didn't happen in the movie. I didn't see anything else.
No. It wasn't in the movie. It's what follows after.
Well, I'm going off of
events.
the movie. So
Yeah.
let's say that if that was the case, then everyone's alive and it's great. Like what? So we could like you could. What is the Doomsday Clock? Just be quick. Like so I can get an idea.
It's long story short. There's a weird like DC crossover thing that happens with Watchmen and DC, and some shit happens because fucking Ozymandias, whatever his fucking name is,
Ozymandias.
was his
Osmosis
plan
Jones.
fucking failed. So his whole entire like let's unite the world by like blaming fucking Dr. Manhattan fucking failed on its ass, and the world was essentially calling for his head.
So
and then like
how
a whole
did-
series.
How
of
did it
things.
fail?
What are you saying?
How did it fail?
Dude, there's so much to go into. I'm
Yeah, it's-
literally
it's
just trying to like.
Too
Regardless,
too much to sum up.
I'm going off of the movie because I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything
Yeah.
else. And as far as I'm concerned, he succeeded, except it probably isn't going to succeed because Rorschach ended up giving the journal to the papers to tell the truth. Either way, like, if he was to succeed 100%, would you consider him a villain?
See, again, it's been so long.
Given
Since I've seen it.
everything that he's probably have done, yes, he is. But he would be like a villain where it's just like, okay, you're the asshole that needed to have happened, sadly, but you're still an asshole.
Yeah. Okay.
So he is a villain, a necessary evil.
Yeah, yeah. There we go. That's what
Okay.
I was looking for. He was a necessary evil. Like
He was a villain in his tactics and what he did. Even if he was right, he was still a villain.
Kind of like
Yes.
that's what we're
kind of like the
going with.
organization in Cabin in the
SCP?
Woods. They're a necessary
Oh.
evil.
Oh god, I love them. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That would be a good example.
If you
Alright.
think about it, they are the SCPs.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah.
So Pete, what's
Yeah.
your final thing? Or was that?
Oh, that was
okay.
it.
Sorry, it sounded like
That
you
was-
had
I was-
something
I
else.
wanted to
I have two
No, no,
quick that I
that
want
was
to
it.
talk about because we kind of talked about a lot of like evil, like generally unlikable villains, and we may like them because they're just like that bad. But I want to call out too. They're just like, I mean, they're bad. They're good bad villains, but they're also kind of like they're adorable in a weird way. One of them, favorite game of all
Okay.
time. Let us talk about Ramon Salazar.
Yes.
Oh,
From
fucking
Resident Evil 4,
Salazar.
there is a
this.
midget man
midget
who owns a castle, and he is just trying to kill Mr. Kennedy. And
Scott Kennedy.
and it's just the dumbest thing where he's just like this little midget. He's always like on like a balcony somehow. He has like balconies just all over this castle. He always just pops out. He just has like boulders coming through. He has a giant statue, like just randomly a giant robotic statue that goes to his castle trying to like step on.
He has a
Kennedy.
big red button on a throne that drops out the floor. Like he's a cartoon villain.
Oh, he has a room that's just filled with lava and a moving platform that goes across dragon fire head, like flaming
Yeah, statues
dragon.
shaped like
Yeah.
dragons that breathe fire.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
he's
it's
a
the-
cartoon
Yeah, that whole
villain.
castle is
That whole
great.
castle is a fucking Looney
It
Tunes
makes
build.
no sense on how, like, what's the floor plan of this castle, but it's great
he
because
also
this
has
is-
the coolest bodyguards. The
Yeah.
Verdugo.
Oh my god, it's that's great. Like he's iconic. Like honestly, all the villains. Like besides me being a homer and saying RE4 is my favorite. Like even though you don't see him a lot, Mendez, he's pretty cool.
Countess Mendez. Yeah, he turns out to be like a monster from The Thing.
Yeah, and freaking Sadler.
Krauser. Yeah, Krauser. too.
Krauser, you have a knife fight with, like, all those, they're all like iconic. And they were all, and it was just one game. It's not like Wesker who, pops up in every single game. You have just these, random, like, lamos who just show up in one game, get murked, and you're just like, man, I had to fight
They
a
all have
midget
so much
who owned the castle.
personality.
Kind of feel sorry for Krauser, but
Yeah. And your other one?
My other one, sticking with the theme of some of my favorite games of all time, No More Heroes. I feel like you could just No More Heroes. Like every character, right? Like is interesting. Every villain's interesting because at least in the first game, it was all like you
Yeah.
go through all the
all have a
levels,
very interesting
and, the
personality.
levels are kind of like they're all in different places, but they all once you get to the boss. Every boss has like a story, and it's literally you only see that boss for a 2-3 minute cutscene. You fight them, you get an ending cutscene, but you're like, wow, this like somehow in those like 10 minutes that you see this character on your screen, they are so developed. They look cool. They have cool designs. They all have something about them, And like, I mean, specifically, you know, because I said I was gonna bring the waifu wars in. Bad girl, you know, top tier crazy
The
villain
one who
waifu. You know, despite the fact that she'll
isn't the
beat
one
the
who
shit out of you
fast-forwards?
with a baseball bat. But like, just everyone, and even in the second one, I don't think is as strong with the characters, but they're still interesting. Like even
Aren't they coming out with a
third one should be out
Yeah,
this year.
yeah. The third one's on. Yeah, it's out this year. It's definitely coming out this year.
I think it's on pre-orders already.
Yeah.
On limited run.
Well, I think it's no, I think they actually have like they might have like a special edition, but it is getting a full regular release.
Oh, okay. Oh, it is? Okay, I thought it was just limited run.
Limited Run did releases
Limited-
of 1 and 2 for the Switch. Because they did,
Oh, maybe
they did the
that's
digital
what's going,
version.
That's what's going on right now.
But they
Yeah.
did a physical with them, which oddly
Yeah, I
enough I
think-
didn't buy because I'm like, I own these on the Wii already.
I think this is definitely a topic we can revisit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because we really didn't touch.
Yeah, I have a list of things. I
yeah,
haven't
there's a
even
lot,
touched.
and I feel
Yeah.
like we kind of went off in one direction, and there's a lot of other directions we could go in.
Yeah,
We also do what we always do best, which is going on.
Yeah.
which like
Yeah.
definitely like lovable villains is like if I had the time to like research, I
Yeah, because we
come up
only
with a
really
few.
touched on Gaston really for, you know.
I do have
Lovable
lovable
villains.
villains.
Yes, definitely.
Anyone wants to know?
You know what? You know what? Drop.
go ahead,
I think we got time
Yeah, quick
for us to.
rundown.
Yeah,
One
We
more.
have time.
The gang from Always Sunny.
Wait, hold on, wait. So I have not
That's
seen.
they
I have
are.
not seen like a lot of Always Sunny. Is that like
Oh.
the group of kids?
No, the main.
No, that's just the main
No,
character.
the main
No,
characters.
it is the main characters of the show.
You
They
know
are a
what?
bunch of
That's
fucking
not wrong. That's
clown
not
villains.
wrong.
They're essentially Team Rocket villains.
Yeah. I mean, they did nail everyone inside the burning apartment at one point.
Ooh, alright.
They've
you know
just-
what,
they
maybe I need to
destroyed
watch this
Cricket's
show, like,
life.
Maybe I need to actually sit down
Oh,
and
poor
watch
Ricky
Always
Cricket.
Sunny.
Give us a couple more. Freddy.
I am learning new things.
Oh God, what else did they do?
Oh no, I mean a couple more lovable villains.
Oh, well, no, that was the only ones I had off the top.
I mean, honestly,
I know.
if we had time, we could go off on like, because if you just describe any given episode of Always Sunny and you don't say like who's like the main characters, quote unquote, you could
Yeah.
definitely say like, you know, they're the villains in every time because
Yeah,
everything
they're-
they do just
Yeah.
screws over everyone else.
They're the prime example of they're the
They
heroes
don't
of
give a
they're
shit.
the heroes of their story, but the villains and everyone
Of
else.
everyone else.
Everyone else's, yes. We should have an Always Sunny podcast.
Oh yeah, we can
I'd
do
have
that.
to rewatch it.
I don't know how much of that I can
Oh,
actually
you need to
participate
catch
in.
up then.
Yeah, same here. I have not watched like.
Well, you guys got
I've
some
watched
homework to
very
do.
little.
Shit.
Oh, that's a whole fucking series.
Yeah, it's
Alright,
only
well,
like
that's a good
15
fucking
seasons.
series.
Terrell, you can handle it.
Yeah,
Honestly, you don't
What are
have
the
to watch
rules?
every episode of that show. You could just literally cherry pick random episodes of any given season, and
I mean, that's kind of what I do when I actually.
yeah, because there's
watch
no
it.
like there's no
Okay.
There's no,
there's
over-
no
story
overarching
cohesive. Okay.
arcing
All right,
plot.
then that makes it.
You know, it's just a show that
makes
was just a
easier,
random
but-
comedy show that was just meant to be watched whenever it was on TV.
Yeah.
Take us home, Freddy.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so that's been this wonderful edition of the Internet Nobodies podcast with this carfuffle of people. So I've been
Still
Freddie.
not a word.
Still accurate though.
Still not a word. I've been
I've been
Pete.
Salazar.
I'm Dale.
I'm Terrell.
And remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye.
Oh God, Bill Cipher. Yeah. God damn it.
That's another character that's lovable. But anyway, are all villains truly evil? How many of them have at least 2 trapdoors in each room? And do they offer dental to all of their minions? Find out next time on the podcast.